Coach Mike McDermott, and Atlantic football coach, and the team that he is going to be taking into action is no worse than co-district champions. We hope to take the co off that and just be outright district champions with a win over Red Oak this week. The big home debut.
Yeah, we're excited to finally be at home. Feels like we've been on the road all year, which we have, but it's just taking a little bit of a toll when you travel week in and week out. So our guys are excited to be at home, much less with the new field. They're really excited.
Yeah, what's been the feeling like at practice this week with, knowing that they're going to finally get out on the turf and play some football in front of the hometown?
Well, it's been a little bit of a relief knowing that we don't have to, get on a bus and travel an hour. So we're excited about that. But opening up the new stadium, homecoming, going to be a lot of things going on in the pregame. But, that's probably been a benefit of being on the road this whole time. We've had to adjust our schedule each and every week based off of other teams', festivities at home. And this week will be no different. The pregame, we've got some homecoming announcements, and then we have a big celebration for the new field, and then kickoff. So we'll have to adjust our times, but I think our guys will be just fine with that.
Well, that's terrific. Any thought of or sense of distraction that would normally come with all the pomp and circumstance of not only homecoming but the new field?
Yeah, a lot of people, tend to, err on the side of caution with that. But for us, homecoming it's a celebration, and we're realistic about it. We tell our guys, hey, you have to perform, and you have to perform at a certain level. This is our expectations, and just be ready to change the times. It's kind of like a football game. There's sudden changes in a football game. You have to be ready for those as well.
Mm-hmm. And you talk about. A team that probably on paper you should be able to beat by a considerable margin, but taking nothing for granted. Right.
Yeah. Well, I think you saw last week Iowa State had a big win over Oklahoma. A number of different colleges had upsets. It's why you play the game. That's why that's something we told our kids. They're coming up here to win. And we have to be sharp, crisp, limit our penalties, and take care of business to get that district championship.
Yeah, I was going to say they had a closer than expected game against Des Moines Christian. Now, maybe Des Moines Christian wasn't really that good in the first place, but still, the score indicated that they are an improved team and a team that's, despite whatever adversity they've faced, they're going to come out and give it their best shot.
Yeah, definitely. I've been real impressed with Red Oak this year. We've got to see them, all 7 games now, or all 6 games up to this point on film. And, something that I've noticed with their coaching staff is, they've gotten better each game. And that's sometimes tough to do when you don't have any wins in the win column. But that's a credit to their coaching staff and their young kids of just continuing to work hard. They're still effective on offense and defense and getting better each and every game. And that's hard to do.
I think you mentioned they have maybe a new coach or.
Yeah, Coach Gelber's been there for a couple of years now, but I've been just really impressed with how they have improved each and every game.
Okay, so who has been the catalyst for that improvement there? I think there's a Dawson Bond that seems to stick out.
Definitely. They're playing a bunch of sophomores, and sometimes when you're young, you just don't know any better, and you just keep playing hard. So I think their quarterback's just a freshman. He's done a nice job of improving each and every week. They've done a good job of limiting the play calls to stuff that he can be successful and do well. And at times he's really sparked and showed a lot of improvement.
All right. Who else has stood out there? Talk about Bond, Dawson Bond.
Yeah, just a real, again, tough young player that can make things happen for his football team. And, those are 2 guys that our defense is, keying on quite a bit. All
right. And talk about what really stood out for you against the Shenandoah in the 28-0 win. third
Well,
shutout
that
in a
was
row.
kind of a weird game also, 0-0, almost going into half. We were up 7-0, but you know what, Colton Tasto really had to play the game, intercepting a toss pass and taking it down to the 1, and then we punched it in. But up until that point, it was going to be a dogfight. And so for us to be successful this week, learning from last week, we've got to eliminate our penalties. Some of them are foolish. Some of them are just, football penalties, but we've got to cut those things down.
And maybe get on the board a couple times early and, just create some distance.
Yeah, that helps. Easier said than done. For us, sometimes if we don't score, we talk a lot about, hey, did we move the chains? Did we flip the field position? Did we make the other team, take 40, 50 yards to score instead of 20 or 30? Last week I think we turned the ball over right away on about the 38-yard line. That stuff that isn't, no matter who you're playing, it's gonna be tough to be successful.
Right.
So this week, again, limit the turnovers, and when we do have to punt the ball away, are we turning that field position over and making that team drive 80 yards before they score?
Yep. A lot of things stood out. Garrett McLaren continuing to make good decisions at quarterback for the most part. Good, strong running game. Pass receivers that can receive the ball, particularly in this case, Colin Mullinex.
Yes.
And good defensive and offensive line and good special teams play. So those have all really added up. You take the penalties out and,
good things will happen, definitely. I think you're right. Those last two things, the offense and defensive lines, excuse me, have really kind of, shown what they can do. Last week when we were struggling a little bit, the line got us going, running some of the trap game. We were running some outside trap and some inside trap, and they really kind of put our team on their shoulders and got the job done for us. And then flip that around, the D-line did the same thing for our defense. They set the edge on some of their sweep game. Our D-end, of course, Colton Tasto takes that one pitch down to the 1, but those guys really set the tone up front, and then everybody else kind of rallies behind them.
And those guys, named some of them without leaving any out.
Gunnar Kirchhoff, Dre Newell, Peyton Fusen, Hunter Wepler, Devin McKay. I always get him messed up with his brother. That's our offensive line right there. I thought that they've done a great job of continuing to make positive yardage for us on offense. But defensively, same thing. Gunnar Kirchhoff and Devin McKay both really strong up front, along with Noah Vandeventer, Miles Mundorf, sophomore, that's kind of come through a little bit. And then the D-ends, Kale Polito, Colton Tasto, and Bo Dickerson.
All right. What do you think we'll expect to see from Atlantic this Friday?
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of excitement. Brand new field. We're finally at home. We've just got to contain that excitement and use that and channel that into positive football plays, both offense, defense, and special teams. But, for the most part, I think you're going to see some guys fired up.
All right.